What it do, boo-boos? We are here for our weekly manifestation oracle message. Oh my God, just as I was calling y'all boo-boos, we got soulmate relationship. Whee! Those dolphins are in an embrace of ecstasy. We are in week 4 of the Omer, which relates to the dimension of Netzach, which is also associated with the planet Venus, sort of like one of the influential energy descriptors of Netzach. And so being inebriated, being turned on, being like in love with life, finding unity with all things, finding unity within ourselves, finding unity with others, treating people the way that we want to be treated, right? The major players in our lives, and even, some of the peripheral people, are soulmates, right? Soulmates aren't just about like a romantic relationship. They're people that we have soul contracts with. And so the challenges and the benefits of our relationships with these people is part of our like soul workbook. And it's the way that we are triggered to see the dormant parts of our soul, the soul shadow aspects that need to come into light, that need to be healed or expanded, transcended, or enhanced, evolved. So soulmates are people that we awaken and transcend and elevate our soul through our interactions with. It doesn't always mean that they're going to be the sunshine and rainbows people of our lives. Usually they're marked by intensity and a sense of familiarity, and the fact that like our interactions and experience with them is life-changing for us, and it changes our perception of life or something about ourselves markedly. And perhaps we go through like a rite of passage through our relationship with them, or it might be like a significant chapter in our life that just brings through a lot of healing and a lot of growth. But it's something that's like pre-assigned, meant to happen. You do soul work alongside one another, as you are interacting. So these can be friends, family members, romantic partners, co-workers, people that are just passing through briefly, but just have such an intense effect on you. But anyway, so in the context of this week's reading, so this is our weekly manifestation oracle message, these themes of the Omer are amidst and among us. And so this is going to be kind of the focal point of this week. And so these themes will come up. And the Omer, in case you don't know, is the 7-week period that follows Passover. During Passover, we're exposed to all of this like radiance and light of the Creator, and it goes into our soul like an energy bank, like a battery. What happens during the Omer for 7 weeks, we go through each dimension of the soul, and that soul is sort of like tested and upgraded with that new energy. It's like grounded in so that it can be redistributed in an efficient and productive way. So through the challenges, it's like we embody that turbocharged blessing juice that we downloaded. Okay, so soulmate relationship. There might be a significant like shift this week that opens the way for the next level of our relationships. So love and money are connected through Venus. They're not necessarily like love equals money, not like that, but like our self-worth is expressed through both of those areas of our lives. And so with both love and money, these are relationships where our self-worth determines what we will settle for or what we will accept. What kinds of jobs that we're willing to do, and where we, have a deal breaker or, set standards for ourselves, or we ask for what we deserve. Both of these things require us to have these foundational virtues to be able to have a successful, abundant relationship with business and with money and security, but also in relation to others as well. So like, if we blow off our career and we're not showing up consistently for our dreams, right? Or at our job, or we're lazy, we're not pushing ourselves to outside the comfort zone to do better or to progress, our love life might be stagnant. And you're like, oh, wow, I wouldn't think that the things that are happening at work, like if you have a job that you hate, that you're miserable at, that you feel like it like drains you, the life force out of you, it's not really aligned with you, it's not paying you enough, like this job makes you miserable day in and day out, chances are it will have a negative impact on your love life, because it's having an effect on your vibration. And so same for if you are settling for less than you deserve in romantic relationships, or in relationships with your friends or family or whatever, and people are walking all over you or neglecting you, or you're not speaking up for your needs. You're not being given enough love or intimacy or quality time or whatever it is. It could be reflected in work, and you could find that you're not doing so well at work, or that people are like making you do way more than you should, way more than your share, or you're like constantly getting passed over, or you're not appreciated, you're just disrespected, or you're just at a job that asks too much and pays too little, right? Or a job that's a bad atmosphere or bad work culture, and you just keep staying there and it makes you miserable. So like both of these scenarios are going to have an effect on the other one. So if you're settling for less than you deserve in your relationships, it might come up at work, and your money might start having you may start having money problems, or you may start having problems at work, and you may get stagnant at work. If you're not putting in an effort at work, then, or with your career, or with your potential, or with your dreams or talents, then that could affect your love life. So just be aware of both of those things throughout this week, because the more extra effort you put into the more extra effort you put into perseverance and victory, the more positive momentum you will build in both areas. Love these cards. Okay, so we have a new dawn, favorite. Love this card. Always an exciting scene, and it always makes me feel very hopeful. This card has come up during some pretty scary, uncertain times, where I was facing some pretty intense challenges, and it never failed. It never failed to deliver. Sometimes you think like, is this wishful thinking? Is this toxic positivity? And then I've been afraid of like things coming up around the corner, and this card has always reassured me that things are going to be okay, and they always have been so far. So, and this card has been coming up at least every other week for quite a minute. So even though the world at large feels like it is hanging by a thread, I mean, like, I don't know if you guys remember the whole feeling of 2012 when the Mayan calendar was coming to an end, and it was just like all over Discovery Channel and all of those channels was like fear mongering. They were obsessed about like the grid going down. And I've just noticed a pattern and I feel like the Tea Party was very prominent during that time. And there's just a certain pattern that, like, I've noticed that when we're in certain political weather, it's just like everything else gets more paranoid and more doomsday forward and more fear mongering and more, everybody's in a panic. And so it feels, very just ominous, but at the same time, on a personal level, like, are you doing okay in your personal day-to-day experience? Because I keep reminding myself of this. If this is a simulation, right, and we're being shown this basically dream that we're navigating, how are we showing up to life? How are we responding to life? How are we letting life treat us? And I just realized, like, wow, this is the 5th month of the year. We're almost at the halfway point of the year. And it's only been recently that I've been able to like pull myself together and just stop being in distress or sorrow or mourning for just the way that the world is right now. And it's not that we shouldn't feel that way or we can't go through these times, but you can't stay there. we've got to process it and then get back to it, right? When I look around in my immediate environment, everything's okay. All the people that I love and care about and I'm concerned for, and all the different fringe groups and demographics that I know, everybody's safe and secure right now, thank God. And so I just have to keep believing and keep praying for everyone's, well-being, and stay focused on positive new horizons. Trust that God is in control and has everything planned out, and that I just have to let go and trust, because anxiety and giving yourself the illusion of control is a losing battle. So, be in the present moment, have acceptance. Don't throw in the towel, don't ignore, don't put your head in the sand, but also, try to find a way to reconnect with the joy and the well-being and the peace and the fulfillment again. Good things are coming. New chapters are starting. And so our consciousness is basically determining the seeds that we're planting for this new chapter. So it's like, what do we want to be growing? Dream big, yay. Let go of small thoughts about yourself and see yourself succeeding. So this is basically what I was leading into and getting into, is that we need to focus on what we want to happen, the fruit that we want to harvest. Don't let your catastrophic imagination take over. Try to focus on the result that you want, what you want to see come into fruition, and get excited about that, and get ruminate in that goodness, and take action, and get up in the morning excited about pursuing these things, and expect good things to happen, and expect the best case scenario. I haven't been saving in the stock market or anything for very long, so I don't have a big wide portfolio, but what I have done with what I have has only grown this year, even in the midst of a time when everybody else is talking about, just how bad it is. And that's what I mean. It's like, yes, the whole world can be going through this thing in a way, but if you are connected with the Creator, you're doing what the Creator is leading you to do, and you can hold on to choosing that certainty even when you don't feel it, but you choose it. I'm choosing it with my free will. I'm shaking in my boots. My guts are liquid. They're like liquid acid, but I'm choosing certainty, right? And so that can put that protection around you and lead you to growth, right? Even when, things don't seem like that should be the case, right? No matter what the outer appearances are, it's like you can be in your own narrative, regardless of what everyone else's experience is. So don't be afraid to dream big, to expect miraculous things, and to have positive, optimistic expectations. And then on top of that, really get up with an excited spirit and an excited attitude, because that excitement for life, it really adds so much momentum and success and victory and good things to your day. Friendship. Make a date for a play day with one or more friends. I love this card. I love having a play date with a friend. When you just throw away all your plans that you had and you just get sidetracked in a sudden and spontaneous adventure. Those are always the best. But when I can spend a good day with my friends, it's always so inspiring to me. It gives me so many ideas. It just fills my tank up with excitement and giddiness for life. And it gives me, it refills my heart, refills my love tank in a way. Just having fun with, good company. It just really, it ignites that manifestation process from a place of like absolute surrender and letting go, and it really gets the magic flowing. It's like we were talking about at work tonight, and we've been talking about this on these videos recently. The things that always manifest the easiest are the things that I like make a joke about and have no attachment to, no resistance to. And it's like a genuine desire, but you're just like, you don't think about it ever again. You're just like, oh man, I would love that. Or wouldn't that be funny if that happened, and you're just like, "Rah." And that's when you bypass the subconscious resistance, the subconscious conflict, the inner conflicting desires, the subconscious defense mechanisms, all the things that block the thing when you're like, oh, I really want this. Like if you're just like not even thinking about it, joking around, like that's when the things manifest the easiest. So when you are in a state of play with your friends, not only are you in a state of surrender and letting go and flow, you're also in a state of excitement and fun and connection and unity and two people in agreement wanting the same things for each other. So it's like you're wanting good things for the friend wants good things for you. You're excited, you're inspired, you're, being silly willies. It's just like so good for the vibration. All right, let's grab, I love this. Soulmate relationship, a new dawn, new chapters, dream big, expect some good things for yourself, and hang out with your friends. Ooh, maybe you're going to meet your soulmate through a friend. Maybe the soulmate situation is going to start out as a friend. Okay, the Arrow Master, I believe we had this last week. I remember having this card last week. Hitting the mark, intention, and detachment. I love it when the cards just say the last thing I just said. So this is what we've done the whole reading. So we want to stay focused on what we want to happen. We want to set our intentions very clearly, and then we want to take aim and make a move and then let go. Let go, let the chips fall where they may. Don't be neurotic. Don't be obsessive. Don't ruminate. Just do the damn thing. Have a good time. Be light about it. Don't really think about the results. Don't keep looking over your shoulder. Just have fun. Get lost in the process, but stay focused within it, right? Okay. Let's see. Two more from the hidden wisdom. Oh, the Shadow Queen. So acquiring knowledge, insecurity, and manipulation. So this week is also a good time to reflect on what is blocking your sense of victory. What is blocking you from perseverance? What is keeping you in avoidance? What are those shadow aspects that are having you self-sabotage or not show up for yourself, right? How is your insecurity being triggered and then setting off some very subtle defense mechanism or proactive controlling mechanism that you're not aware of that ends up being manipulated? It's like you're trying to force everything in your environment and your situation. So look at the ways that you could be having manipulative tendencies or ways that your subconscious is trying to force or control the world around you, because we really need to detach and let go. Let go and let God. All right, and one last card. The Swan Queen, transformation, intuition, and patience. So it's like really what's happening is that we are transforming our shadow self throughout the Omer. All of the different layers of our shadow and our soul are coming up to be reevaluated, rebooted, upgraded, and let go of the old that is not serving us. So we're transforming this. And so the more that we can transform that fear, negativity, insecurity, lack, doubt, reactiveness, reflexiveness, loss of self-control, anything of that shadow nature that we can transform during this time is opening up this energy for miracles to be revealed, right? So we downloaded all this energy during Passover, and now through our inner work to transform our shadow, that is how we're basically earning that light, right? We are like gaining like credit on our credit card, or it's almost like cashier's check or whatever it is, but we're earning the light that we just was made available to us, right? And so now we don't have to pay interest on that money when we get it. It's just a Venmo deposit. It's not a credit card. But if we didn't earn the light that we were exposed to during Passover, we were like, I'm not going to go through the process. I'm just going to, take all this new energy. Then we might have to pay credit card interest, right? It's more like a credit card where you're like borrowing energy, borrowing blessing, borrowing the light from the creator, from the cosmos, but you didn't do anything to earn that money and make it yours, right? And so then you're just borrowing, you have to pay it back, and then you have to pay it back with interest, right? What is paying it back? What is paying it back with interest? That is when we go through processes in life, whether that be challenges in relationships or challenges with health or with finances or what have you, our chaos and negative experiences many times, or our proactiveness to change is the thing that earns us that light back. It retrieves our sparks of light from the other side. So the more transformation we do, the more positive energy and miracle juice goes on our positive side of the scales, on our side of the scales for good. So with all of this new energy and power, we are going to channel it through our focus, our intent, hitting the mark, taking action, taking aim, and then letting go. And trying to, in the meantime, have fun, be motivated, be inspired, and let the chips fall where they may. Trust the creator. Trust that the creator has a master plan. All right, y'all. We will be back together tomorrow for our midweek alchemy message. And that is where we sort of unpack our approach to this week's spiritual assignments and lessons. Till then.